just gonna go ahead and cut all my little transients here. That way I can nudge them. Cut you. And again, before, like I've said, if anyone watches this video and they didn't see the first one, I prefer doing things by hand versus doing, stuff like Beat Detective and Pro Tools and whatever. And I know I can use the slicing tools here in Logic, but I like... sometimes the slicing tool doesn't quite get the it doesn't recognize the exact transient that it's supposed to be, and it's a lot of work to be like, okay, kind of got it but didn't, so let me unclick it and then zoom in really close to make sure that I can put the marker for the transient exactly where it needs to be to move it, because if you don't, then what ends up happening is it smears the transient, it cuts the transient, and then the actual body of whatever the sound source is gets kind of truncated. And for guitars, it doesn't really cause a problem, and with drums, I guess it doesn't really cause that much of an issue either, but sometimes it does, and when it does, just ain't it, dude. So when you do this, you're just you're slip editing it. You're not damaging the transient at all on the destructive level. I'm just cutting the regions. So all I'm doing is cutting the regions and then slipping it inside the region. I'll only use the slicing tool for like really aggressive edits. Like if stuff is not lining up whenever I do these group edits, I'll ungroup them and maybe like a fill or something. But with Siraz, the drummer who did this, that's not going to be a problem, I doubt at all. Oh boy. Good lord. Probably only going to be doing this for about an hour. See how much I can get done in an hour. Hopefully Logic isn't going to be ridiculous. I guess I can share this everywhere. I'll share it and really quick for whoever wants to join in. Oh, there's my tom hits. Those are some pretty solid tom hits. I already know I'm about to get cold after like 5 minutes. No. That China be China-ing. China! There should be a cymbal brand that comes out with a China, and it's like the Trump China. Someone needs to do that. If I had a cymbal company, I would do that. It's like $1 million idea. I bet that would sell so many freaking Chinas. Doing some mixing, mastering work for a client. Should be wrapping up the EP sometime next week. Oh, nice, dude. That's awesome. What type of music is it? I have 2 projects that need to get wrapped up. And then I'm looking on starting 2 to 3 more. I'm just waiting on people to get their schedule and finances in order so we can get the booking for that going. They're gonna be some cool projects. Some cool ones. I need to finish that book too. Gotta finish the book. I should like pin the book in every live stream that I do, but I'm just nah. Death metal, nice. I want to work on some slamming death metal. I was just at Peeling Flesh concert. My buddy, I don't know if you know Brandon Kramer, is another engineer. He runs front of house for them, so I was, hanging out with him and the band and all that when they came here to Houston. I was like, dang, I want to work on some slammy boys. Okay. So much cutting. Whoever's watching this on the replay can just be like, all right, let's fast forward. I can't wait to mix this song. It's going to be so fire. It's going to be fire, mate. Just randomly start singing old hymns. Hallelujah. That could be like a niche of YouTube, is dude sings hymnals while he edits drums. Sick. I played a show with them back in the day in Houston and San Antonio for a leg of one of their tours. Nice, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, it was the first time I met those guys. They're pretty chill. Got to talk with Michael Soto and Joe, their drummer, a good bit. Nerd out with Michael about the audio stuff. Yeah, Brandon, the front of house engineer, I love that he just like his snare bombs on their stuff is ridiculous. Like I just watch him fly the fader. He's like, it was hilarious. It like the way he has it routed, it just like it ducks the entire mix bus, and it's wonderful. Oh, it's so funny. I think I went way past the part that I was supposed to be doing. I definitely did. I just went into autopilot. So where's my tom fill? I'll be able to find with it. It's probably right here. There it is. Yep. Saw that story on your Insta. Wild. Yeah, dude, he's like he crazy with the snare bombs. I'm like, honestly, I respect this. Look at all these cuts. This is gonna stink. Whatever. Labor of love. Oh, before I start doing that, I need to get my crossfades, dude. The other viewer is probably my lady. eating some pho on lunch. She's been rather quiet. She's probably reading a book. All right, Logic. This is kind of crazy that you're taking this long. It's not that hard to see all these regions, dude. Come on. All right. All right. There we go. Oh, goodness. Can it not do that, please? Thank you. Give it to me behind the beat, baby. This part definitely needs to feel behind the beat. Brother. Pick it a pancake. Pick it a pancake. Pick it a pancake. Okay. Brother in Christ. Oh, I love the kick slightly behind the beat. It's just so ignorant. This mic smells like styrofoam. It's probably because it sits in styrofoam. That'd be a funny skit of a dude, like a weird audio engineer, like, you know, the people who there's the people who like sniff chairs after people sit in them, but there should be like the dude, like after every session he just goes and sniffs all the mics. He's like, oh yeah, that client, he smelled good. That'd be a funny reel. Run that as an ad and get bookings. It's so interesting being so much under the microscope of a song that I've done how many years ago? 2016. Because there's so many things that I would have like done differently. Well, so many little things. Like there I would have, I don't know, my kick patterns would have been a little different. On this part they would have been just very unga bunga. Less skippy. More follow everything the exact way, just because it's so it's such an aggressive part. But I don't hate it. I was like, let's be proggy. Be proggy froggy. Brother. Yeah, it's a little too ahead. All right, snare drum. Relax. Absolute riveting gameplay. Dude. Have that there. Nice. Perfect. Let's hear how that section sounds. The phrase 1. Nice. Nice! Phrase 2. Here we come. Logic, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Now I'm gonna put that a little behind. I guess I'll play that with the bass. What is this? What else do I have going on here? Just that. I need to get a big sky. Those ambient tones were like done on a big sky and I miss it. I want the big sky. I want the big sky! That snare just slightly lazy as... Just feels so good. So, like, I would have had another kick there. And I know that I didn't have that in the MIDI. What's happening? What's happening? Yeah. Shame on me. I'm just kidding. I just had a different writing style around this time. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Oh, don't do that, Logic. I didn't want you to do that. I want you to go back. You need to be behind the beat. I should just make a dedicated YouTube video about why you should edit drums slightly behind the beat for heavy music. In essence, Unga Bunga, that's why. Oh, heck no. That can get out of my house right now. Hell no. Yee 22 yee. Oscar's at you. Dude, man, is that you, man? That is crazy, man. That you're here in the chat with me, man. Hey, let it go, man. So far, this feeling decent. This one, you know, this one's a little bit. Gotta make sure this one feels right. It's not feeling quite right. I don't like that. What is that? Something here ain't feeling right, brother. There we go. I guess there was some weird blip in there. This needs to move further back. I just want this to feel lazier. It just feels a little bit too... feels a little too rushed. Just a tad. Move your back. Nice. This part's pretty good right here. I think I like me this part right here. The main takeaway, edit your drums behind the beat if you want to sound ignorant and nasty. If you're not editing your drums behind the beat, you sound lame. Just kidding. It's just like, I don't know, drums behind the beat, like slightly behind the beat, are just so like, it's such a Chad move. That would be a great video, how to edit drums like a Chad. People be like, what? Like, what does that even mean? It makes sense in my head, because it's like behind the beat equals like lazy equals like Neanderthal, caveman. Then Chads are kind of like cavemen. So. Gotta do it for the Unga Bunga. Unga Bunga. That feels good. That feel good. That right there feel good. Alright, I'm gonna mute this because this needs to get retracked and it sounds like dog water. We're getting there, guys. All right. All right, this is gonna get gridded out the wazoo. Like I want this part needs to just get gridded. Even though it kind of already is. Like this. Grid me, baby! But the snare needs to be behind. Just a tad. Gotta move you up. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, gosh. This is one of those. There we go. Let's take that off. Do this. They'll never know. They're gonna know. No, you won't. You won't know. You will never understand what I just did in the context of this mix. They'll never know. This last kick can be like tastefully behind the beat. I want it even more. That's Editing is an art. That's nasty. That feels so much heavier than it did before, and it's just by throwing stuff behind the beat. Gridded, but behind the beat. This one can be right on. This one's fine. Move you a little more behind. My girl was like, she's like, I see you clicking a bunch of stuff and I don't really hear a difference. I was like, but do you feel a difference? And the snare can be a healthy bit behind the beat. It's all about the fearing. And that can be pretty behind the beat right there. God dang! Check that out. Does that make it more human-like playing? Not necessarily. So like this is all he played this. Like, he sounded like a human. Really, really good player. This is already it feels like a human. So I'm just tightening it up in the parts that I feel need to be a little tighter versus where other parts are looser. But putting things behind the beat almost adds like a lazy, like caveman kind of thing to it, and it lets the transient of the guitars and the transient of the bass when they're playing together. It lets that transient through first, and then the kick transient slightly after. So it makes the transient punch harder because you get the initial transient from the guitars slightly ahead or like right on, and then the kick is like right after. So your ear perceives it as just one big, longer, punchy transient, which this is that's kind of like some, not gonna lie, some next level big brain way of editing. Like you can really hear it here. You can hear that just punch through. A lot of people, I think Mike Stent is the one who, a lot of his mixing is just nudging. Because if you just nudge things out of the way, or if they're just time aligned in a particular way, then you don't have to try to EQ something to pop. You just move it over a little bit, and now they're not fighting for the same space where the transient is. Exactly, the impact. So that's editing. Basically, like, the way that I'm editing is I'm trying to push and pull some of the impact. Sometimes I don't want it to be super impactful, but like on this part, it's like the kick is hammering away with the guitars and the bass, and they kind of need to feel like in one accord. I want it to feel like a machine gun. But it's still, he still played it naturally. Like, and it still feels like a human played it, because, you know, these kicks have slight inconsistencies to them in a natural way. So like right here, it's a little bit too fast. That's one thing, is like, if something is perfectly on the beat too, what I find with drums is it can almost sound and feel like it's too fast. So putting something behind, like, you basically won't be able to be accused of rushing. And I think I would rather be lagging than I would want rushing. I'd rather lag than rushing in like any scenario with any instrument. Gotta move that a substantial bit over. Like on these flurries right here, some of these can be a little bit ahead. It's not a big deal. Like, you know, that there, like this one maybe can be pushed back a tiny bit, but it's still ahead. But if I'm going to do that, then the next one needs to be behind. Same thing here. This is a little bit too ahead. I just want to push it back a little bit. But it's still technically slightly ahead, and it's going to feel ahead because this one was behind. And then the way that we make that feel right is you push the snare substantially behind. And now it feels natural, and you get the nast. The nast. And since I had a little bit of looseness in those kick flurries, what I want to do now is make sure that whenever I'm editing this fill, that it's more so gridded, more or less gridded. Like, you can see the snare is substantially ahead of the beat right here. It's like a whole something. And I'd rather it just be right on. And if that one's right on, then this one's okay to be slightly ahead. How will I have phase issues if I'm moving it if it's all time locked? It's phase locked. There's no way I would have any phase issues whatsoever. And even if there are phase issues, your ear should tell you if the phase relationship that is there is a problem or not. Just because you move something around and all of a sudden something is out of phase doesn't mean that it's actually a bad sound. I have an entire video on, you know, the myth of what phase is. Like, everyone thinks that just because something is quote unquote out of phase that it's bad. Not necessarily. If it sounds good, it is good. Who cares if it's out of phase? Because there's no issues here. My snare and my kick, they sound perfectly in phase. Gotta move that. There's a little blip there. Maybe that one's a little bit too loose over here. Yeah, this one is a little bit too loose. Put it right there. That's good. Still feels a little loose. Like, it's like, here's a little bit of a looseness, and then this is just gridded. Sorry, I talk loud. No, you're good. You are good. Yeah, don't feel like if you're doing stuff in your own productions that, like, if something is quote unquote out of phase, that you're doing something wrong. Just assess it. Does it sound good? Does it sound bad? Just be really, really simple about it. Naturally, you want to understand what the phase relationship of a source is. Like, you don't want to, like, just go with it because you don't know, but if you realize that something is technically out of phase and it sounds fine, who freaking cares? There's been plenty of times where I've left my kick out of phase, like the kick in and the kick out of phase, because it just sounded better. I didn't need all that low end. It was actually too much. I was like, this feels better. I'll just leave it like this. Fight me. Let's see. Yeah, this China was a little ahead. Got a little excited. I'm gonna actually move this hit back. That's Then when he goes double time, that's gonna be fun. No. Move that. Then this kick can be pretty fat behind the beat. So can this snare. Said I need help with how to glue the track together without losing transient. Pretty much just a fast, sorry, not fast. A slow attack on your mix bus. Slow attack on your mix bus compressor. Like, I usually, when I'm using the SSL, I'll have it on, like, 10 is the fastest attack I'll have, and that's if I want the sound of the compressor to really be, like, grabby, which sometimes I'll do that, and I'm usually mixing into the compressor if I have 10 milliseconds. Otherwise, I'll have it at 30, and fast release really helps maintain the transient so it's not, clamping down on it constantly. On my 33609, I have it at 100 millisecond release. 33609 is naturally a slower compressor, so you're going to, that one's going to round out your mix a little bit more. It's going to have less snap and it's going to have more puff, if that makes sense. But you still don't really lose transient. Just using transient designers after you on your mix bus after is good, like spiff. I like using spiff every now and then if I feel like I need to. What else? Tape saturation, or just saturation in general. Not going too crazy with it, and then obviously clipping. doing all these things before limiting really helps. Whatever limiter you would use, not kill your transients, which is why CG2, the video I did about CG2, the new plugin from Metric Halo and Make Believe Studios, is so good. People gave me so much hate for it, but they just don't freaking get why it's so important. Your transients don't get cooked with that plugin. It's so important. Like, not people gave me so much crap for that, but yeah, no, that plugin is incredible if you want to preserve your transients and get loudness. It's wonderful. No, I lost. Speaking of transients getting lost, I lost this one. CG2 is amazing, right? It's freaking ridiculous. Thing is literally a cheat code. And if people don't want to understand it, they don't want the cheat code, that's fine. That's totally fine. They just won't get booked. They can have quiet mixes and lose in mix-offs or whatever. That's the industry we live in. I'm gonna do another live eventually of this drum editing, but where I'm going through and I'm like, oh, this kick needs to be replaced with another kick, or this snare needs to be replaced with this snare where you hit it harder, or the tom hits, bro. Like some of these tom hits need to be replaced. The toms sound good. It's just sometimes out of the fill he didn't hit it hard enough, and then naturally with what's going to happen, trying to get that, it's just not going to work. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be a really good video or a really good live stream when I do that, because I don't think a lot of people really do that when they edit their drums. And the only people I've seen do it are the ones who are doing it at like the highest, most meticulous level. And I'm talking about clip gaining ghost notes, clip gaining certain other hits, going through the whole thing, doing all that stuff. It's very tedious, but if you want perfectly edited, when I say perfectly edited, I don't mean like perfectly gridded, but perfectly edited for the song drums, it needs to be done. Nothing like it. It gives color. I stopped using God Particle. I mean, I still use God Particle every now and then when I remember that I have it. I'm like, oh yeah, I could throw God Particle on it, and sometimes I'll throw it on and be like, that's cool. But if I do, I just turn off the limiter. I think I always turn off the limiter on God Particle for the most part and just use the multiband and whatever the heck the other thing is. Let's keep that right there. Yeah, like that. This is not gonna work. This tom. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Like that's not enough not enough gain on that. Well, actually, is there a cymbal hit here? Actually, that might be able to work since it's at the end of a fill. It feels good. Oh man. Yeah, editing the that's gonna be a task. No! I like edited everything. Behind the beat, love it. And the kick needs to land right there. Orion by Cradle is a must, by the way. Amazing. Use it in the drum bus and it works like magic. I've never used it before. I know that one kind of went under the radar, so it'll be cool to check it out for sure. All my post-production hits down here, wherever they are. Driving to Boise entertained me, Dad. All of these region cuts. Hopefully this entertains you. or stresses you out and makes you want to kill yourself. My stopping point is about right here. I think that's looks like a fill. But yeah, just doing the Oonga Boonga stuff, editing drums, putting kicks and snares behind the beat, because when you edit behind the beat, it sounds super ignorant, nasty, and disgusting and heavier. So that's what we're doing. All right, time to put all of these behind the beat. Tour with Tesseract and Daedric. Nice. That's awesome, dude. You touring with the band right now? That's fire. I was just talking about how one of my buddy Brandon Kramer, who mixes front of house for Appealing Flesh, they came by here to Houston last thing on their tour, and he's like, yo, come hang with me front of house. And you know, I was hanging with him, watching him mix, and he's like, I don't know if you know Brandon Kramer, but he's known for like his snare bombs. He's like, boom, boom, the fader's flying, bro. And it's crazy because like the snare bomb would just completely duck the entire mix, and it was amazing. It was just ridiculous. I loved it. Going off to Boise, and then we have 4 days left. Nice. That kick needs to be harder. Pick it a pancake. Pick it a pancake. Chris with Tesseract is an animal on front of house. What does he mix? What does he mix on? Does he use any Wave Super Rack Performer to like use third-party VSTs? D-Live C115, 1500, nice. I've never worked on a D-Live. The only Allen and Heath board I've worked on is the crappy freaking QUs, dude. I've worked on a buttload of Yamahas. I've worked on basically all the Yamaha boards that they have, which I don't know how that happened, but love the Ravage. Only onboard processing, and my dumbass brought my $10,000 rack. Nice. It's lit though. I'm enjoying it. I bet. Dude, heck, you better be enjoying it if you brought your MBT and, you know, your mix bus compressor and all that. Hey, but I would do the same thing. If I was going on a tour, I'd take out, bro, I'd take out my entire rack. I'm just looking at all my stuff like, yeah, I'd bring you. Maybe I wouldn't bring the tube comp. Maybe I wouldn't do that, but we're using the M32R. Nice. Is that on your board or is that the band's? These drums are feeling immaculate. That's the band's board. Nice. Bro, I'm telling you, you should if you have a good laptop, you should use Super Rack Performer. I'm telling you, bro. Like, even if what you got going on is fire right now, you'll just have so much more control. You'll be able to use all your goodies. I'm buying the wing and stage box once I get back, I think. Dude, yeah, it's a good move. I think that's a good move. The only thing that sucks about the wing is if you do stuff like Super Rack Performers, you have to... honestly, any external insert counts as a DSP rack effect, and you only get 16 of them. So the only other way around that is to utilize your alternative outputs to get back in via your alternative input, and or, you know, return in on a new channel via your USB input. That's the only thing that stinks. Well, that really stinks. Actually, the other thing that freaking stinks is the fact that you can't, like, your dynamics, even though you get 2 dynamics, your stage 1 dynamics are completely different plugins from your stage 2 dynamics, and you can't, like, swap it. So you can't have, like, a de-esser at the end of your chain. You have to have your de-esser first. And unless you utilize one of your insert slots and utilize a DSP rack effect to choose a it's... Don't even get me started. There's a lot of stuff on there, but there's a lot of weird non-flexibility things they won't let you do. That's just kind of like, I have bus-to-bus routing, but I can't put my de-esser after. I don't get it. It's weird. Weird decisions, but it is what it is. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I would buy I would buy a wing if I was doing more personal live stuff for other people. I would definitely get a wing. Might just sell my car for the C1500. Honestly, if you were doing that, I would take a look at the DM7 Compact. You know what? How much is a DM7 Compact running? I kind of want to check that out right now. Let's see. I'm curious to see what that is. That's about the same price point, 1500, right? For the... Where is it? Yeah, it's about the same price range. And it's 72 channel. The DM7 is a really good console. Oh boy, I'm almost done with this part. Dude, my Facebook is just Going off right now. No, that needs some help. Oh, I haven't gotten there yet. Mm-mm. Daddy says no. This one needs some help. This is like perfectly acceptable for like looser genres, but since this is djent, I need it tight, baby. I need it tight. This drummer is Sirius Vaziri, so he was already really good to begin with. This is just fine tuning. Sirius Vaziri. He did the whole album or EP. It's cool, like doing the remote engineering with him on this, picking out the cymbals, mic choice, and all that. Oh goodness gracious, man! What is this? Bro, what is this? There we go. I knew I did something stupid. Ooh, my reward for this after is getting a coffee and some food. Let's see. Oh, I don't like that at all. That's way too behind. What am I gonna do here? I like the kick behind, but the China. Alright. Don't cringe, guys. Don't cringe. I'm unlinking and I'm doing something that could be blasphemous right now. Does it sound good though? Move it back a little bit. That's fine. Y'all didn't see that. For the most part, I'm going to leave that pretty much almost exactly how it was, minus some of these kicks. Yeah, it's looking good. See, this is a case where it can feel a little rushed in the fill. I like the timing of a lot of this. maybe bring the tom back a little bit. Check that out. I'm gonna have to listen to this solo to check for any weird little blips in a second. This part can be adjusted a bit. Boom. Boom, boom. Said, hey dude, why you prefer this method over slicing with flex audio? Good question. I did say it earlier, but you probably just came in later. But I prefer this because I'm not chopping the transient. With the flex, obviously, you know, it'll create those markers for you, and sometimes it's right on the transient, sometimes it's a little bit before, and I find that it's easier to just slip it here, and I can, you know, adjust the crossover wherever I want it to be. This is a lot more granular, and I'm the guy that, you know, I'm going to go over it a second time, usually anyway, so I might as well just have the granularity from the get-go. And I still will use the flex stuff, like slicing, or sometimes if I have to stretch it, in rare cases I will. But I don't know, I just find it easier to be able to non-destructively move the transient around, whereas with the slicing markers, you are destructively moving the transient around. And here, I'm just, you know, sliding it over within the region. So, you know, instances like this wouldn't sound as weird. But it's more so really just for the I feel like I can have more grasp and control over the transient and what it's doing. So let me go back, check this whole part here. Perfection! Let's go. Didn't hear any weird blips. Said, cool, great point. I used to edit this way too, which is more akin to Beat Detective, but it took me way too long. Yeah, it definitely is more akin to Beat Detective, but that's the other thing, is I don't even trust Beat Detective, because like that's one reason I don't use Pro Tools to edit drums or stuff like that. That, and I haven't edited drums in over 5 years because I either don't need to, or I budgeted out to get somebody else to edit it. But this is like for my own personal stuff, and I'd rather just, you know, I guess handle it myself, especially since I worked with the drummer. I know how his performance was, and I guess it's more of like a creative aspect. Like I don't know if you saw, you know, how I was, you know, doing the edits here, but I'm putting a lot of stuff behind the beat and not actually gridding it. That way the transient from the guitars and the bass and all that stuff pokes out before the kick transient and before the snare transient. That way, whenever I'm mixing this, the transients are going to poke out really nice, and I'm just moving, you know, samples around. It's not like whole notes. It's not like 16th or even 32nd notes, but just super, super small moves to get it to feel right. And which is, you know, I wouldn't expect somebody that I paid $75 to edit my drums like this, so I'm doing it myself. Said, although Flex works better when the drummer is tight as hell. With some sloppy drummers, you can really tell when the audio is stretched. Oh yeah, for sure. And this was done by Siraz Vaziri. I don't know if you know who that is, but this was already a really good drum performance. It was already really, really good. Like, I can play a part over here where I haven't edited it yet, and you'll be able to you see what I mean. But this is just the fine tuning and really, making sure that everything is feeling good with the guitars and the bass in terms of where it is. Do I need to do that? Not really, but I don't know. I just like to do that. Been a fan for a while, by the way. I learned a lot from your content. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Hopefully, there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out here regularly. I'm trying to be consistent with the live stuff because I'm like, hey, let me just do the things that I have to do anyway and let people see what that's about. And eventually, the people who don't tune in for the lives, I'm going to archive all the live stuff and just put that under a members thing. That way, people who actually care about the nitty gritty, then, they'll join and become members. Oh yeah, so a part where I haven't edited it yet. Let's go here or something. No editing. I haven't touched this yet. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun to edit. All those kicks. So I'm not editing it because it feels bad or anything. It's just I just want more control over how my final track, because he recorded these drums to my scratch takes, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I want to adjust the timing to feel good with my finals, with my final takes. So I'm going to go ahead and consolidate this entire section that we just did here. Make sure low latency mode is off because it completely cooks this. All right. If you guys are here and you haven't liked the stream, though, if you could like it, that'd be fire. That way, whenever the stream's done, YouTube will push this out to the homies that like this stuff. All right, wonderful. I'm going to color code this again so I know that that is locked. Some of these guitars I still need a final track. This is a mess. Hear the laziness in the kick behind the beat. Okay. Let's go back and cut these transients. Still haven't moved these guys over yet. What is happening? La. I was gonna stop there, but I'll keep going. I will keep it going. Love that kick behind the beat all day, every day. Let's go. Make sure the snare is a little behind too. Dirty. I'm gonna have to like clip gain those ghost notes and everything. That's gonna be the next video I do for the next live stream I do for this stuff is when I have to go through that. Thankfully, since this is for my own project, there's no like real timeline on it, so I can just kind of do it when I have time. Which is nice. Move that over. Move you over. But like, I'm just imagining, like, I know how the mix bus is going to respond to these kicks and snares behind the beat, and it's going to be wonderful. I mean, this is such an important part of how your mix ends up gelling, is the timing adjustment of where your kick and snare land, whether it's behind or ahead. I'm probably going to hit the compressor pretty hard on this mix. Speaking of compressors, dude, the freaking VNE that Mixwave just dropped, dude, I haven't even used it yet, but I know that thing's fire. It's crazy that that exists as a plugin now. I was supposed to do another sponsorship with them a while back for, I forgot what plugin it was. Can't remember what plugin that was that we were supposed to do. It might have been Level. But that fell through. The V&E would have been a sick one to do. I just don't buy plugins like that. I guess I need to cut the rest of these to the end of phrase 2. Forgot about that. Can't wait to use CG2 to get this thing to -3 LUFS. It's gonna be great. time is it? 1:28. All right, I got a little bit of time before I have to leave. I should be able to crack through this section before I gotta get on out of here. So there's that. Make sure I get crossfaded. No, that's annoying. I like that. The timing of this is good. That doesn't feel good. That feels good. Don't like that. That's fine. Like doing this as fast as possible, but Logic is like hell bent on lagging with every single stroke. It's amazing what happens to the transient. It just becomes so much more prominent when it's slightly behind the beat. Like it's just so good. Fire. Put that back a little bit. Brother. All right, we are almost there. Really not looking forward to retracking the guitars for this bridge. That's one thing I can't really live stream is me tracking guitars because it's just me getting mad the whole time. Like it really is just me being mad the entire time. It's kind of hilarious. Beautiful. Love that. Don't even want to touch. That's good. That's good. I like that. I like that. Nice. One thing I want to check is since the kick has actually I can't do that right now. I gotta go. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll be live again after I'm just gonna edit the rest of this myself and then I'll do the pass through of everything. But peace out, guys. Appreciate y'all.